And by the way, for every wrestling fan who comes to this channel, before we start this video, for every wrestling fan who comes to this channel and says, Gemini, thank you, I love your videos, I watch your videos on the train on the way to work. Gemini, you inspired me to build a wrestling DVD collection. Gemini, I was with you in 2008 when you started. Thank you. Throw it up. Too sweet. Hey, what's up guys? Gemini, back with another video. And hey, in this video today, I'm going to be talking about what a pro wrestling fan, being a pro wrestling fan means to me, and some of the things that go along with it. First things first, check my Twitter out, Gemini888. It's up there. And while you're at it, make sure you stop by my Facebook account and send me a friend request at Gemini Flair. What being a pro wrestling fan means to me, it's hard to wrap my mind around this concept. Look, here's my thing. I started watching pro wrestling when I was 7 years old in 1987, and I saw Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant on the big what the hell is it? Let's see. The big oh, here it is. The big WrestleMania 3 tape, and I can't explain it to you. I can't explain why, but something just clicked in my mind. I fell in love with all of it. I fell in love with all the stories, all the matches, all the wrestlers, all the tapes, and something just clicked on the inside that just hooked me. I mean, I'm talking about, this is what pro wrestling means to me. It means when someone says no to you, you can't watch that. You find a way to say yes, because it means that much to you on the inside. It means that much. When someone says no, you say yes. When I was 13 years old, Monday Night Raw used to start at 9 o'clock. What I used to do was, I had a 8 o'clock bedtime when I was 13. So what I used to do, this is what I used to do. This is what pro wrestling means to me. And this is what it has meant to me my whole life. When somebody said no, I said yes. This is what I used to do. I used to wait for my father to go to sleep at night. When he was asleep in his bed, we only had one TV in the house. And it wasn't in my room. It was in the living room. So what I used to do was I would wait for him to go to sleep, wait about 15-20 minutes till he was out. So it would be like 9:20. I would go in the living room, unplug the TV and all the wires, because I knew if I watched it out there I'd wake him up. Take the TV back in my room, redo all the wires, hook up the cable box, stuff pillows underneath my bedroom door so he couldn't hear the sound from my room, turn all the lights out so it looked dark, and watch Monday Night Raw from 9 to 11, and then put the TV back in the room when I was done at 11. Go to school the next day tired. It didn't matter. That's what I did for pro wrestling when I was 13. When I was, this right here, what I used to do when I was a kid, and I recorded all these tapes, I used to get $5 a week allowance when I was a little kid. One of these tapes cost you about $3. So, save your allowance up. Didn't have a car, had a bike. Ride your bike down to the store, buy a blank tape, talk your dad into buying the pay-per-view even though it was way more money than we had, record it on a VHS tape so you could watch it over and over and over and over again. When I was a pro, I mean, this is the kind of things that I've done my whole life. When someone said no, you can't watch that, you say yes. WCW in 1994 had a WCW Up All Night on TBS. And it was 6 hours of old NWA matches, which 94, you had no access to any of it. So what I did the same thing, snuck in the room, snuck the TV, snuck the VCR, all in my room, late at night, 11 or whatever it was when WCW Up All Night started, 6 hours of NWA matches, had it going, recording, and I got caught. And I took an ass whipping for it. And after that ass whipping, it didn't stop me. I just re-recorded it and I kept going. And that's what pro wrestling means to me. Is I'd be willing to take an ass whooping for it. And I'd be willing to take an ass whooping for pro wrestling if anyone stands against it. Being a pro wrestling fan, when it's inside you, it's inherited. You can't explain it, but you know that you need to be there for that big moment. I've been there for every big moment in the WWE for over 25 years, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. I mean, John Cena coming back to the Royal Rumble, I was there watching. You know, Rumble 2007 with Cena, and or Royal Rumble 2007 when Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker came down. You know, I remember it. I mean, I was loving it. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker were the last two guys in the Royal Rumble. I mean, I was there watching it, and I wasn't going to miss it for anything in the world. I mean, I remember going to Chicago, L.A., Detroit, and it's always been about pro wrestling. I mean, I remember going to Staten Island, New York, years ago to meet up with a guy because he had Hasbro figures for me. It's about love. It's about when someone says it's fake, they don't hurt your feelings because you're going to keep watching because wrestling's in your heart and it's in your blood and you'll never quit. You can't quit. Once wrestling's in your blood, there's no turning back. You're hooked for life. And it doesn't matter the perception of what anyone thinks about you. I've had so many people get silent when I tell them I'm a pro wrestling fan. I've had so many people criticize me for being a pro wrestling fan and look at me like I'm the strangest person in the world because I went to Major Video on a sidewalk sale and bought 40 or 50 tapes. I mean, people always look at me strange for being a wrestling fan. But I don't care what the perception is because I love it. I've been with it a long time and it's my passion. And I'll never quit. Once you're a wrestling fan, you're a wrestling fan for life. And once you love it, once it's in your blood, fake and dumb and stupid and the silence doesn't matter to you. All you want to do is be there for that big next moment. And that's what I've done. I mean, I've been to the Royal Rumble, I've been to SummerSlam, I've been to WrestleMania, I've been to Super Brawl, I've been to Halloween Havoc, seen them all, met them all. It's about love. And once it's in you, it doesn't matter. My friends used to look at me strange in high school because, you know, I didn't care. I'd bring my Macho Man Hasbro with me to high school. It didn't matter. I ran track when I was in high school, and I wrote NWO on my track shoes on the back. One shoe said NWO, one said For Life. 1997. One guy at the starting line, I was racing, he says, "Man, what's it say on your shoes? That doesn't make any sense." And I said, "Man, it's NWO, For Life." And he says, "Oh, you know wrestling's fake, huh?" You know what I did? He said no, and I went out and I kicked his ass in the race. You know what I'm saying? I used to run practice at track, and I would name off dates, times, arenas, and everyone would think that I was making it up. All that stuff. It's all true. It's all right there. And it's all about love and studying and being around the sport. And I'll be around pro wrestling for the rest of my life. Hope you enjoyed this. Gemini. Peace. You know, here in the YWC, we're a band of brothers. And unfortunately, the outside world doesn't understand wrestling fans. They don't understand us. They don't understand pro wrestling. And so what do we have to do to to connect with other pro wrestling fans, we have to come on YouTube and talk about it, because most people don't understand it, most people don't accept it. So just remember, as much as you love me, I love you for watching these videos, for giving me an extension, a way to connect with other pro wrestling fans. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the guy at the train on the way to work who watches the videos. I'll never forget the guy who messages me and says, "Hey Jem, I love your channel. Thank you for talking about wrestling." And it inspires me to be bigger and better, and it makes me even more of a wrestling fan when you come to me and you say, "Jem, thank you." Today, I say thank you for giving me an extension to talk about what I love, and that's pro wrestling for life.